Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are in full snowblower season here where I live. Shop is full of snowblowers. I've got a snowblower in the shop today. I picked it up last night. Customer says I went to use the machine and the augers won't turn. It just does a a stall motion. The engine won't turn, or actually makes the engine stall when he puts down the auger lever. This will be a simple fix. This is a common problem, guys, so make sure to watch if you own a snowblower. Stay tuned. Okay, this is the machine here. I just brought it in from outside. Some of you seasoned Donny Boy 73 watchers here will know right away what the problem is. What the problem is, guys, is the impeller is frozen. So I'm going to flip the machine up like this. And there's no way this thing will turn. It'll turn a little bit, but then it stops. Quick way to fix this is grab a heat gun. A propane torch works as well, but you want to watch not to burn any plastic parts, or a hair dryer. All right, what I'm going to do is just clear out as much as I can with my hands. It does make a mess. If you have a heated garage, that's good. Always got a broken shear pin here. When your augers will turn like this is because the pin is broke. See, the ones with the pins don't turn. And it looks full of ice in there for sure. And see right here, you can see all the ice. If I go with a pry bar, I can actually break it off. I've seen much worse than this before. There's the ice. So I'll use my heat gun here and make sure that there's no ice left. Now you want to make sure that you get the ice melted that is behind the impeller as well. It won't just be at the bottom here. Usually there's some at the back, so I got it pretty well all melted here. Now I can turn the impeller. That part of this problem is resolved, but we do have another problem because of this, and I'll show you how to fix that as well. Look at this, guys. I just went outside to try out a snowblower here, and I'm covered in snow. We're getting a bit of snow today. Anyway, what I will show you here is how the impeller being frozen like that ruined the auger belt. Okay, let's put that shear pin in there. And a tip here, guys, is put anti-seize on your pins. If you have any salt in the snow you remove, these pins will have a tendency to seize in there, and then you will have to drill them out after. Okay, let's get this blower back down. Okay, on this machine here, you'll have your belt cover here. There'll be 2 bolts to remove. Once you get those removed, you can pull the cover right off. And if we look at the belt here, we can see that it got quite hot. It's kind of worn out in one spot, so it will need to be replaced to do the job properly. If you don't replace it, you'll get a lot of vibration because a part of the belt will be more narrow than the rest. Now make sure the machine is turned off when you do this. What I do is I grab the recoil, I grab the belt here, I just get it over like this. And then I lift the machine up on its front end. I usually don't have any issues doing that. Now, if your gas tank's overfilled, it might leak, so you might want to put a rag or something to catch the extra fuel. If your oil tube cap is on tight, you will not have a leak here. Now, it's going to be the same diagnostic procedure no matter what make of machine you have if you have a machine come in with a frozen impeller. Just replacing the belt will require different sizes of sockets and a different procedure, but almost all the same. I do a lot of MTD machines, so I'm very, very familiar with them. Now on most MTD machines, you have to come down here with a 3/4 wrench and a 9/16 and get this bolt out of here. Now I've already removed the belt from the engine pulley, so it will pull out of here quite easily. You gotta lift this up a bit, pull the belt. At this point here, what I do is I just pull on the auger cable a bit, and that is to release this little plate here, or belt retainer, and then the belt comes out. So here's what I meant by the belt being worn in one spot. You can see it here. That's because they were trying to get it to spin, but it was all seized up. Alright, so I've got the belt for the machine. This is a 28-inch machine. If you have the 24-inch, it will be a different belt. So for the 28-inch machine here, it is part number 754-04195. These are OEM belts here. So this is the one I'm using today. And like I mentioned, if you have the 24-inch MTD Troy-Bilt Cub Cadet, usually this is the belt you want, 954 or 754-04050. This belt here is slightly shorter than the other one. So what I do here is I lift the friction plate. I kind of twist the belt a bit like this. And while I'm holding the plate, is I get the belt right through the friction plate and the auger pulley. So this is the absolute quickest way to do it. Then I get it on the pulley on the left side. Now get this bolt here, this shoulder bolt back on immediately. Tighten that up. And what I'll do now is pull on the auger cable to move this so that I can get the belt in between that and the pulley. There we go. Now before putting the belly pan back on, it's a good time to grease this gear and the little jack shaft here. So I put some low temp grease on the gear. Not too much, you don't want it to get on the friction plate or else you will have problems. Your drive will slip. And I usually clean the friction plate with some brake cleaner. Sometimes I use an emery paper just to clean it right up. And if the friction disc is wet from melted snow, make sure to clean it up as well. And now I'm just going to put the belly pan back on. Now what you want to do is get the belt on the top side of the machine here, line it all up, make sure it is on the bottom pulley properly. Get it on the engine pulley, hold it like that, make sure the engine is turned off, and just spin it over by pulling on the recoil. And one last thing to do before you put the cover back on is push down on the auger lever. And when your auger lever is down, you want to make sure that the belt is nice and tight. That means it's not going to be slipping on the engine pulley. And now you can just put your belt cover back on. And then just tighten up the two bolts. And that's it. Now if I hold the auger lever down and pull the engine over by hand, you'll see the augers turn. And that's what you want. Everything's fixed. So if your augers won't turn, guys, the first thing you want to check is your impeller. Make sure it's not frozen. A good way to prevent this is if you have a warm garage, keep it in there all the time. Another thing too is when you're done blowing your driveway is hold down the auger lever for a while. That will spin the augers and the impeller, and it's going to clean out what's left in there. Also, when you turn it off, make sure the engine's off, you can go in with your hands and scoop out any slush that is left from in there. Because if you put it away with that slush, the next time you go to use it, it's probably going to be below zero, and all that slush will be a block of ice. Thanks for watching, guys. Bookmark the video and make sure you're subscribed. Have a great day.